Oh, how about now, guys? Check, check, check. Okay, okay. What up, guys? How you doing? Here, let me mute this actually. I this everyone. My first time going live, so we'll see how this goes. Oh man, oh man, oh man. Yeah, so okay, so there's still feedback right now? Or is that from the laptop? Because I have my laptop going right now too. Let's see. Okay, so we're good now? Okay, perfect, perfect. How you guys doing? I'm happy to finally be going live with you guys, and this is something that I hope that I can do a little bit more. I had a microphone plugged in, but I guess that was what was eliminating the sound. I don't know why. I gotta double check why later, but yeah. Hope you guys have been doing well. So the goal is today just to mess around with the cards, answer a bunch of questions. I'm probably notorious for never being able to respond to people, so I felt really bad. I was like, you know what? I just got to start going live now, and I just got to be able to start answering questions. And while I do that, I'm just going to be deck building a little bit and sorting through different things and just trying to share with you guys a little bit of my process when I'm deck building things. So if you guys have any questions down below or in the comments section, just point it out and I'll happily answer it right here and there. So let's see. Definitely more than willing to answer it. Let's see, let me turn this down. So it's not completely silent. I had the Kings game going on in the background. Let me see. And yes, I am a Kings fan. Trust me, it's been really difficult and hard on me. Let's see. So, this is let me just go over the build. Are you still planning to do a Prime I Hero deck? So okay, Emilio, that's actually funny. Oh, bro, wait, hold up, Sauce, bro. You did not just bring up Luca in this chat. In this chat. No, yeah. So, oh, is this going backwards now? What's going on with this? Oh, okay. Sorry, it's not live. I'm all paying attention to my laptop and stuff. Yeah, so it's funny that you bring up Primite, Luca. I mean, oh my gosh, you got me saying Luca now. My mind's on basketball. Hey, Blester. Hey, okay, real quick. I just want to say this, Blester. I haven't got to talk to you at all, but I just want to say you are one of my favorite channels to watch for hero content. I think your channel deserves way more views, way more subscriptions. You put in a lot of hard work and effort into your combos, and so I just want to let you know that I appreciate it. I don't get to play a lot, so every moment that I get, I'm like dissecting everything. So all these different combo tutorials, just I love watching your videos. So if you're not subscribed to him already, what you should be, drop a comment in the subscription down to Bluster. Yeah. Okay, so it's funny that you say back to Emilio. It's funny that you talk about Primite. I was actually, thinking like, okay, so let me give you guys a choice actually. So as you see, I have 3 different decks here. So with you guys, and I picked this up for fun too. And I only bring this out because I have the Primite stuff in here. Which I'm gonna be using for Hero, because we can either attempt to build like a smaller count hero list, or we can build a Primite hero list, or we can build. I can show you guys my take or my thoughts on building. Let's see. I'm building a Neos deck. This is actually one of my favorite things to play. Like, I'm telling you guys the truth. I had the Prime stuff in here, which is what I really liked it in. I feel like the Prime stuff works best in here out of all hero variants because it focuses around the Neos aspect. And so you can constantly bring out Neos Lords all the time. So, what's it called? Let's see. Let me know what you guys want to see. Let's see. How do you feel about 50 over 60 card deck list? Issue is getting the side deck card. Yeah, so chill guy story. So for a lot of if you guys have been with my channel for a long time, you guys know that I've been a straight 40 card person. Just because I didn't feel like before the Evil Hero support, I didn't feel like we had enough good cards we didn't have enough good cards to really keep up with the meta. And so we had to see those, those powerful cards that we did have. So it's like whatever we can do to get to a Heroism Fusion Destiny was going to be the difference maker for us. And right now, I'm feeling like 60 cards is just the way to go. There's so much that I want to play. And the thing about, like, say this deck right here, and trust me, it kills me inside. I'm telling you guys straight up, it kills me inside to play 60 cards. Just because, like, I'm an old school player. I've been playing since the game first came out. And you can play it at 50, and it won't be bad at all. However, you have cards like this, this, and honestly, like straight up, like you have the Maliciouses that you just don't want to draw. And it sounds kind of weird, like I lent out my other Charmies, but the approach that I took for this deck, if you look at it, let's see. For my last regional, I made 60 cards. I did 60 cards and I made 6 Charmies. I wanted to try to drown out so many of the injury requirements that... sorry, listening to the kids. I just really found it important to drown out, a bunch of injury requirements. And the thing was, it's like you just didn't want to draw onto multiple of these, but I felt like you still had to play cards like this. That's why I feel like 60 is just so important, because between these 3 and the 3 Fulos, you were drawing multiple cards, and you wanted to be able to minimize the possibility of drawing multiple of these in a row, because you just wanted, like, really with the Charmies in this deck, I wouldn't play it in like 45 cards. I wouldn't play it in like maybe 50, maybe just Furos, but I wouldn't play 6 because you just give yourself a higher chance. I hope I answered that better, but yeah, sorry. Just going back and forth, listening to the kids, the dad life guys. So I just really, really, really prefer 60 cards right now. The thing is, you just got to find the right ratio between engine and non-engine. And I think that's one of the hardest things in today's deck. You just want to play so much. Like, if you look at my list, like, let me fan this out for you guys. Oh, and also, yeah, and if I miss a question of your guys's, if I don't answer a particular question, I have ADD, guys. And so, like, I get distracted very easily. And, just, again, you're going to hear me talk about being a dad a lot. I get distracted. My mind is always like, the kids. But if I don't answer a part of your question, ask it again. It's all good. So I'm afraid the 60 is the way to go for heroes due to all the injury requirements and all the non-engine. Yeah, so I'm going to fan out this deck for you guys. And this is what I'm talking about. So I played 2 regionals. The first regional was on the day after the release. Favorite rarity? breadcrumb favorite rarity. So I'm an old school player. So like when it comes to like say Stratos, I prefer the ultis over the starlights, just because back in the day almost a whole deck can be ulti. So that's what my preference is. I like a lot of the stuff though. Um, okay, so what was I saying? I get you on the going back to Bluster. Yeah, so 60, I have a hard time with it, man. Yeah, I am a real big fan of short deck counts because it's just so important to see your side. It's just so important to see your key cards, right? But the approach that I took is I wanted to force myself to see those power cards regardless while drowning out my bricks. And so it's hard. Let's see. I'm missing a draw. Where'd it go? So for the last two regionals, the first regional that I played this deck in was the day after it got released. You know, so the official release was the first day I was allowed to play it, and that just happened to be my regional. I was still getting the hang of things, but the last one was a week ago at a Los Angeles regional. I went 6-2, and I didn't play the final round, round 9, because my boy just came back to the game, and we're gonna test on the side because we're planning for our next event. But that being said, oh, and if you guys are wondering what I lost to, tell me how I beat I pretty much 6-0, 3 Mitsurugi Raziel players. I beat two Blue Eyes players, and I beat a Sword Soul player. Is that 6? Yeah, that's 6. But I lose to Valence, a deck I never heard of before in my life. No disrespect to the deck, but he summoned Fossil Dino on me on my turn. And I'm like, what the heck? I've never seen this deck before because, I've taken a lot of breaks. So I don't know how new that deck is or whatever. I just saw him shifting zones, and then he just dropped Fossil Dino on me on my turn while I'm playing. It's like, well, if I knew what this deck was, maybe I could have, maybe I would have kept in maybe I would have kept in like say Droplets going first or something. Excuse me, to tribute off his Dyna and then negate his stuff or whatever. But yeah, so like the approach, going back to this, the approach that I was thinking, that I was taking is one, I wanted to drown out the bricks, and then two, so I lent out my the Furuloses that I borrowed, I gave back just so that way they could have it for Vegas. And so these were the hand traps that I played. 3 Furulos, 3 Perulia, 3 Joel and Lockbird. And the thing about that is I wanted to drown out the injury requirements while putting a stop to their turn while giving myself at least 2 more cards. And if you look at all the cost, between Evil Assault and Evil Assault, Droplet, and even and Super Poly, and as well as even Ferris. Like this, getting this stopped, just hurts so much sometimes. Not only because you want to stop the vision line, but really because you just minus the card, a lot of times. And if you like say get a weird hand where you like pitch Ferris for Ferris and then they stop it, you're like, we don't ever think about the card that we lost right here. Ideally you always want to pitch Malicious and Shadow Mist and Necrom. Oh, by the way, guys, I'm sorry. I know this is a little bit of a tangent, but I feel like opening this is just way, way better. Way, way better than opening up Ferris Malicious because of Bestials. And I'm going to cover this lately, but in a little bit. But this is just so much more broken. You could play around like 3 hand traps by itself with this. And I'll explain that after. I was telling my boy about it at the regional. It was like, I did this, it was crazy. But pretty much like I was saying, you want to be able to draw cards while putting, because the thing is, you end up funneling them into your board breakers. And it makes the cost of these, just so much more manageable. So you end up having 6 draw cards, and let me see this. And I'm gonna go back to the whole side deck thing in a second. You end up having six draw cards in the main at all times, because these three right here, I lent them out for Vegas. These were 3 meows. The meows is really strong against decks like Mermail, obviously Malice, and even Fire King. Like I tested against Fire King and you got a couple of draws against them. So you always have 6 cards to be able to put pressure on your opponent. And really all you need is a +1 and you're solid, you know? So the plan is, like, say you play against Ryzeal, and if you look at Ryzeal, it is the most played deck. Ryzeal variants are the most played, most successful decks. Malice is still incredible, but what you want to do is that, like, because all of these cards, the 3 Furlos, the 3 Perulia, the 3 Droll, they even counter Mermail. And if you look at Mermail in this last YCS, they just got top 8 again, and they won. A YCS and another 3v3. So you funnel them in, you hit them with the Droll, and then they're forced to go into Detonator, which means that they don't have cross. And now any one of these breaks their board, and you have more gas than they can handle. I've done, like I said, I 6-0'd Mitsu Ryzeal, and I tested against Pure and Fiendsmith the night before at the Airbnb, and I was just wrecking them just really easy, just because. And then all week long, really, at an OTS championship, it's just because this really works. D-Force is in here because I actually really want to play this card. This card, I was playing it before the Evil Hero support, and I just feel like it's just still really strong. I know Detonator is a thing, but you look at Blue Eyes and they have a whole bunch of continuous cards. You look at the Malice Field spell, and they're still topping. They're still winning. I also see this as like an extender, but we could talk about this in a little bit. Let me get back to some comments, actually. Let's see. Okay. Oh, and seeing the side deck, let's see. I got to update a little bit just because I haven't got to touch my cards all week. I've just been focusing on the family. Excuse me. So this was 3 meows. Here, let me move this out of the way. 3 Lancia, 3 Hunter, 3 Eclipse, 2 Barrier Sanctum. So, and then the 3 Molt Charming Meows. So this is essentially the side that I went for. You can easily add in like lightning storms and stuff like that. Honestly, I felt like kind of this was all I needed right here for going first, because oftentimes what happens is you're like, say if you go against Malice, you can still have like this in your hand going first. There's just a lot of different like little things you could do. You could keep a lot of side cards in. And I want to tell you guys, like, one of the most important things is to have like monster hand traps, specifically monster hand traps. It makes such a huge difference, because when you're playing the Rider package, this doesn't have to banish just hero. This can banish monsters in general. So like there will be times where I charm eat and stuff like that, and then I pay cost, and then I just banish this earlier on, and then use my and I didn't have to banish any heroes, which meant I had a bigger wake up, which meant, you know, I can pick and choose what I wanted to use at that time. But more so, being able to banish this early made it to where my poly was more flexible. I could have treated it as Dark Fusion earlier on without having to go into the Evil Hero line by itself. Like, because sometimes you do draw this just by itself, and it's still very, very good. Let me see. But the point I was trying to make with the side deck is, and I'm sorry if I'm all over the place, guys. My mind is just kind of going now. You always, like, you side heavy, like heavy for everything. And so like you're playing 60 cards. So it's like you had these 9 for like Malice. And so you're still able to see everything on top of the other Charmies and everything else too. And so it's pretty cool, because even like, for example, even say the meows, right? I'm using this Perulia as an example, but the meows, you can go if you go second, like say you dropped 1, right? You dropped one on their turn. They kind of made a half board or whatever, and then you draw one for turn. You can easily just pitch it on your draw phase because they're gonna end up banishing another card from their graveyard. They're bringing back like White Binder and stuff, and White Binder is gonna banish another thing to trigger another card to come back to set a trap. So like Meows is just crazy in that matchup, especially for a deck like this that plays 60 cards. But the goal list is just side triplets of everything and the cards that can be thrusted into, and always have multiple draw cards. The going second cards, like I felt like I had to have this for Raizo just because I felt like I wasn't respecting the matchup enough, even though I still had like all of this or whatever, plus the Fuas, but I felt like I needed something additional. Let me see. How many people got in here? Oh, 20 people. What up? Nice. Let's see. I really tried Fiendsmith, the Evil Hero deck. The synergy is pretty good. Got the idea from Jaden BR. Jaden BR is very creative. Yeah, definitely somebody to watch for sure. What causes you to lose, and what are your main weaknesses outside of Nib and Draw? And how do we feel about the new Dark Haribo? Okay, so this question's from Sauce. Oh man, I should have brought something to drink. So honestly, this sounds probably dumb, but I don't see Nib as a problem at all. I don't remember the last time I lost to Nib, and that's being honest, not being this or that. But I just don't feel like and I'm gonna show you guys why. I'm not just gonna tell you we don't. I'm gonna show you guys why we don't lose to Nib and Perm. And it always depends on where they do it, but the majority of players try to wait for the end. But I'm gonna try to show you guys before we log out today why we don't lose to Nib and Perm. And so we actually do pretty well through it regardless. So Sauced, feel free to remind me to answer that question or show the demonstration after. I like them Charmers and Board Breakers for Heroes because if you don't draw either, you don't stand a chance. Yeah. So the Mo Charmies, they're just so important, man. Especially like I know you're a fan of 60 cards, and I love that you're playing 2 poly, man. I've been trying to play it for so long. I just felt like I needed specific cards for the ratios that I was playing, but I do feel like it works for you for sure. I love it. So, and I do agree with you. The Charmies plus the Board Breakers are definitely the way to go. Like I was saying before, you just want to kind of funnel them into playing your game, You kind of want to bring them down a tier or two, Because right now, they're doing whatever they want, uninterrupted. Sorry, these sleeves right here. So what happens when you lend out cards? So they're doing whatever you want. So you really just want to kind of funnel them into your game plan. Because if you draw any one of the hand traps with like Fuas or whatever, they make a very minimal board. And that's only using one card to stop them. Now, you have all the gas in the world to be able to do whatever you want to play through just one. Even if you didn't draw, like say one of these, you could still push through a detonator with just the Stratospheres or an Evil Assault. So let me see, let me go back. For sure, Necrom is really strong. Yeah, bro, Necrom is insane, bro. Like if it wasn't once per turn, I'd definitely play 3 of it for sure. Sauce, Necrom equals Dark Fusion. So I really love the Dark Fusion package, man. I am just so in love with it. I wish the deck was 40 cards and being able to use it, but I love it because I just love the ability to pivot, and just go different routes, just not have a linear option. And it matters so much. One of the biggest things, and I'm sorry, let me know if my audio is okay, guys. Just because, like I said, it's my first time streaming. I feel like, it's just so crucial. Like, let me give you guys a tip. And this is one of the reasons why I felt like I've been doing very well this format, regardless of um, detonator and everything else, right? So let me show you guys something. So I'm not saying that this is your hand. So I'm not saying that this is your hand at all. What I'm saying is that there's a specific order of what you want to do things. It's so important that you always so obviously with the hero lives, you always pretty much have 9 times out of 10, 9.5 times out of 10. This has to be the first card that you play, right? Which sucks because, you have to reveal, what you're playing. You have to, you have to give them knowledge. And if you don't use that card that they know right away, then they still know that card in your hand, and it allows them to conserve their interruptions. So this is always the first card that you have to use for the most part. And then after this, which a lot of players I see messing up on, what do you guys think that you guys have to go to next? Joy Boy, what up, bro? How you doing? I sincerely apologize. Unfortunately, I do not speak Spanish. I really apologize, but I will try to translate it. Okay, so and thank you, Blester. Appreciate it, bro. Thank you for the feedback for the audio. Um, Okay, so like I was saying, you have to for sure always like 9.5 times out of 10 you have to start with this. So let me know what you guys think that you guys, what would be the next thing. So my thing is you always should lead off with the evil hero package. The evil hero package, like though it's powerful, you want to be able to use it as bait. So and this is one of the benefits of the Infernal Rider package. Because the whole time, your opponents, all they truly know is malicious, right? Malicious, special summons, get malicious and all that stuff. And so, and I know it sounds a little weird, right? Let's see, let me pull this out. Okay. So when you play this package, your opponent sees fusion card, malicious, right? And they automatically they see you get bodies, they see you get fusion cards, and they feel like they have to interact. So when you force them to interact with this stuff, that leaves your most important stuff to be able to go through, which is the stuff like this. And I can't tell you how many times that I've say you don't have something like this. Like I said, this was never your hand, where you go and you cycle through, you bait interruptions, and all of this was special summoned, right? So you end, and I know this might not sound ideal, but so you end up with this. They used 2 interruptions on whatever. They ashed your Necrom. You ended up having Evil Assault anti-dusted, and so you searched out like Dark Fusion and you fused and stuff anyways. I don't know what the case might be. So this was a special summon. I can't tell you how many times that I just straight up tribute summoned for Ferris and then did my combo anyways. And then followed up with like a card like Fusion Destiny. So like, obviously if you have Fusion Destiny, you're going to save that for last. But you always want to be able to save this for last. The deck has progressed in so many different ways and it gave you so much help. But the core of the deck is still this Ferris line, unfortunately. And I say unfortunately because I wish we didn't have to play this anymore. But at the root of it, this is still the most important play of the deck. And so being able to have full access to this engine just makes such a difference to be able to bait things out and put pressure on your opponent. And if they don't take the bait, then automatically then automatically you're getting an omni negate. So any half board that you make after with like plasma or whatever, you're automatically backing it up with dark supremacy and stuff like that. So that's just one little side thing. Let me see. Let me go back a few. I missed a bunch of comments. Let's see. If you guys are still in the chat, say what's up. I appreciate you guys being here. You know, hopefully this is the first of many live streams. Let's see. Let's see. Can't they just interrupt your vision line and keep you off poly, or is there a way around that from Sauce? So yeah, so that's one of the other things that I really like about this line right here, because one, it gives you bodies, and two, you're able to recycle the maliciouses. And so if you get to a point to where you have to neglect a search or a dump with like say, like you can only get to malicious and you can only get to you can't get to, guys, I need to switch sleeves, I'm sorry. You can't get to denier. All this is just special summon. So you get your set. You pretty much what you do is you, when they stop this, then you make your two warriors, and then you go search for Vi on it by itself. Yeah, so that's another benefit of leading with stuff like this. You got extra bodies, and what I meant by that is that you're able to link climb after making Cross Crusader, making the Divisor, making the Wonder Driver after, and still getting the necessary bodies that you miss. That is a little bit easier to show you than better to show you than I could tell you. But pretty much, essentially, you're just pivoting back into Vion if they stop your polyexes. Because, you know, we all know that the second effect is only once per copy, you know. So, let's see. Let's see. Hold on, Carlos. Let's see. Oh, okay. Do you wish that Infernal Rider's second effect regarding being able to use Super Poly as Dark Fusion down the end of opponent's turn? Oh man, Emilio, bro, if that effect was permanent, it would just make Wonder Driver so much better, because you would have an Evil Assault bringing back your Dark Fusion, and then you would have Wonder Driver resetting when DPE comes back, bringing back Poly, and that Poly itself would be more alive. Because I don't know if you guys noticed, but the extra deck is getting way more specific. And so you kind of have three or four sections of different type of heroes for specific needs. So let's see. Excuse me. So when you look at it, nothing is universal. Let's see. Nothing is universal for the most part, except for like maybe Sunrise. Nothing is just super generic. This requires a fusion. This requires Neos and something else. This requires pretty much a vanilla and Neos or whatever. Two different E-heroes. You know, this is a Destiny hero something. These are warriors. These are more generic, yeah, but they're never too useful, and with like the starter plays. These are all evil hero stuff. Let's see. And so, yeah, having Infernal Rider's effect be permanent, it just makes it to where you're constantly able to pivot through these a lot better. And guys, don't look at my Ultra, please. Like, I need a second QCR, so bear with me. Let's see. Oh, shoot. Let's see. Let me bring this down a little bit. Okay, let me see. How about Emperor not using it anymore? Good against dual drive and So, chill guy story. You asked, how about Imperm not using anymore? Good against dual drive in general, I guess. In general. So, the thing with Imperm, I really like it. But as I was saying earlier, like even at 60 cards, I feel like I don't have enough space for everything. So, like if you notice, I'm not even playing Ash, and to stop Charmies. And there's plays that you have to just do to kind of pivot when you do get Charmied. Like I've been double Charmied and still won, and that's not something um, that honestly does happen a lot, but it's something that's very real. But what I mean is, um, I tend to gravitate towards my higher impact cards, especially with a deck that has so much heavy engine and so much cost that comes along with it. And so I end up gravitating towards these cards, along with the 3 Fulos and the 3 Meows and stuff like that, because I want to potentially end my opponent's turn. And the thing about Imperm, it's very good, but our engine isn't as self-sufficient as it needs to be able to trade 1 for 1. And so trading 1 for 1 with a tier 1 or tier 0 deck, like back in Snake Eye format, sometimes you had to just imperm the Snake Eye Ash and hope that you could pass the turn, right? But, you know, it's just tough because the thing that I always gravitate towards is that one, when you try to imperm a detonator, they could just chain, pop it, bring it back, and you can't really blink the detonator, and you still got to play through that, and you lost 1 card. Um, it's just it's too hit or miss for a deck that requires um, just a lot. Like it's just a high usage engine. So I mean, it's a good card, so I might play it too. What I'm trying to say is it's not my first go to. Um, and it's tough. That's why I kind of gravitated towards cards like Forbidden Droplet, because it can hit more things. And with this combination with the Charmies, it kind of nullifies some of the negatives of it. Also, the thing, like I was playing Imperm, but then I was thinking like, oh wait, crap. Like if I try to, like, because people are shotgunning Dweller, and with Rizal variants, as soon as they see that you're on 60 cards and everything, and I'm thinking like, okay, I could just imperm on the draw phase, or when they activate it on the draw phase. And then I was like, well, they could just pop the Dweller and I'm still screwed, and then they could just bring back the Dweller again with twins. So it's kind of rough for imperm right now. At least in Heroes. In any other meta deck, I feel like it's great. Like in any other meta deck. Like I feel like Imperm is very good in Blue Eyes. It's just a completely different deck, completely different style. Plus you play Dominus Purge in that deck, and you can get the pop. So, in other decks, I would definitely play Imperm. Let's see. Fred, hey there, Carlos. Regards from Ecuador. Thanks for the protest. Oh man, thank you, Freds. I really appreciate you, man. Thank you for tuning in all the way from Ecuador. I'm just happy you guys are here. I'm happy you guys get to hang out with me. I can't stay on forever today. This is all just a test run. Got to get back to being a daddy. I got to get ready. Have some dinner for my wife. When she comes home. I got off of work and then she left to work. She usually works from home, but she has a second side gig that she does, and so I gotta be husband too in a few moments. Okay, so going back to Sauce, how do you feel about Foolish Goods sending Polly or a fusion card and getting it back with Wonder Driver, kind of like how Brandon does, and it works so good for them, but we add more bricks. So I like Foolish Goods with a card like Break the Destiny. And when I was trying to do like a Contrast Zero Chaos deck, I was using Foolish Goods and I was using Wonder Driver to bring back Fusion Tag, because you can like Fusion Tag something and like you can reset the Fusion Tag and whatever. But Foolish Goods, it's tough. It's tough. I feel like you would kind of have to play a bigger deck, and then also on top of that add other targets that would make it really useful. So like in when Tenpai first came out, right? Very first release of Tenpai, I was playing Break the Destiny. So that way, and I think I still have the profile on the channel, but I was playing it and I was using it to skip Tenpai's battle phase. And that was working really good. And then on my turn, I'll banish it for D-Force and then lock him out the game completely. Um, but other than that, it's hard for me to use Foolish Goods because they have branded fusion, and you know we have Fusion Destiny, but it's a little bit different. It's not. It's not. Oh, Maze, bro, what's up, man? I hope you've been doing well. Hope everything's going good with the coffee shop and everything, and you know the family. Okay, something I've been saying for Heroes lately. We need more generic fusions and that reward you for fusion something. Bless her, bro. You are right on point with that comment. He said, "This is something that I've been saying as of lately. Heroes need more generic fusions that reward you for fusion summoning." Yes, 1,000% agree. That and Link One, but a generic Link One that like how these two are. Um, Yeah, I totally agree with that because we need to be able to tie these all in together. You know, be able to bridge them all together, or you know, kind of like how Inferno Rage does, but a little differently and more generic to make it. Let's see. What do you think about Dark Bright instead of Wincreeble level 6 popping? Oh, are you talking about Swashbuckler? Are you talking about Vicious Claws, or the new hero that's coming out? Okay, so if you're talking about, let me see. Let me see. Sorry, one sec. Okay, note to self, guys. Next time I need to. Next time I definitely need to bring some water or some strawberry lemonade. Laz, what up, bro? What up? And hey, you're talking about blue eyes, bro. Talking about blue eyes. Hey, I do have it right here. I do have it right here. This is proof. This is proof. Let's see. Does it show? Oh man. Through structure decks, right? It's something good to just have, for staples and everything else. And, for something cheap like that to be able to learn it, I'm always going to be playing Hero. I'm dedicated to Hero. But, Blue Eyes is fun too. Okay, so let's see. So going back to Swashbuckler. He said, "What do you think about Dark Bright instead of Wincreeble level 6? Popping in the Dark Knight and oh, you're talking about Dark Bright, Elemental Hero Dark Bright. See, I gotta remember. Okay, I gotta remember what Dark Bright does. It like special something. It like pops something, right? I would have to really look back on it. I do have some hidden spice, guys, that I've been kind of theorying on. And Samuel, if you ever see this, you know what I'm talking about. You might know what I'm talking about in Roll. I kind of shared it with you guys a little bit. A past hero card that we have that hasn't seen play in a little bit. Let's see. So Buckler, to answer your question, I gotta look back into it. I just don't remember completely what Dark Bright does. I know it's like under 2,000 attack and it kind of pops, I think. Let's see. It popped, you can reborn. You can pop. If Dark Bright is popped, you can pop a monster. So one of the biggest reasons why it's so hard for me to cut Wincreeble level 6. It's like, I know that this card seems very underwhelming, but it's actually super, super crucial. Excuse me. Excuse me. It's actually super, super crucial because when you draw, it makes it that when you draw, let's see. Guys, I promise you, I will change sleeves. My sleeves are all. When you draw any one of these, you cannot afford as a hero player, as a rogue player, to not plus. When you draw one of these, you automatically make this play a lot weaker. And so being able to, yes, you can still possibly pop on Dark Bright, but what this offers you right here is a level 6 or higher hero for Fusion Destiny. Being able to push with your Malicious before you drop the Fusion Destiny and it still matter. And then also being able to have fodder and protection for plasma plays. And, it just has multi-use, Um, and then also one of the great things about this, and I'll continue to talk about this more in the future, but just being able to pitch this off of Assault. It just matters so much having cards that give value off of, going to the graveyard. So like whether you have Droplet or like pitching this right here, you know that when you activate this and you pitch this, you're going to be able to eventually get this back and still get value off of it, so you're not minusing yourself. I tend to gravitate towards a lot of cards that still give you cards instead of just losing cards. So I rather get, like, there's this old theory that there's this old saying that it's better to, I remember when Patrick Coban, when he was at his prime and he was playing a lot, he came out with this book, and one of his rules, I never got to read the book, but one of his rules and one of the interviews were always, it's better to give yourself a card than to take a card away from your opponent. Because if you give yourself a card, you always have an option to do more. And your end game, your end goal, which are all of these, can deal with whatever that pop would have been. Because as soon as you pop, that's one resource that you're already committed to. And so that's why like cards like this, it has multi-use. It can be brought out twice. Once with Infernal Wing, and then once with its own effect. And so from that point, it's a disruption, a protection, and an additional body. And so there's just so much that that can be done with Wing Karibo. Let's see. He's very deceptive. Okay, so both the decks are beautiful. I'm at the tourney right now with Hero. I am 4-0. Good job, bro. You gotta give me the report tomorrow when we talk. That's to last. Oh yeah, sauce. Yeah, it's a fusion. Yeah, I remembered after a while. That's actually one of those heroes that is less talked about. It's kind of like an out of sight, out of mind. Okay. Praxis X. Hopefully I said that right. What do you think about about a Neos Evil Hero deck focus on Cosmo Neos without the Destiny heroes? Bro. So he asked what I think about an Evil Hero Neos deck. I don't know. I don't know if I have. I don't know if I have any thoughts on it. I'm working on it, bro. I'm working on it. Yeah, it brings out Cosmoneos, and it protects that play. And so I'm definitely working on it, man. I'm gonna plan on profiling it soon. Well, hopefully soon, but I'm just trying to make sure that I know what I know about the deck. Just trying to make sure I don't give you guys crap is what I mean. And so I think the Evil Hero stuff and the Primite stuff works best in Neos. Like, okay, actually, I think it's the same in Neos, but I think the Primite stuff is way better in Neos than it is in this standard hero deck. Okay. Let's see. Okay. Well, this is from Emilio. What are some of the hero cards that you're hoping to get reprinted in Bonanza Stampede as a QCR? So one of the biggest things is you guys see it right here. Cross Crusader. So happy that that's going to be reprinted. I'm very, very happy about that. Well, obviously, right now, because they should have done it before, it was always supposed. This should have been the reprint for the OTS, not Dark Fusion. This is a 3 of in my deck, and even if you're not playing it as a 3 of, you at least have the choice for it to be a real 3 of, and it makes sense. You know, you could, 1 to 3 is your decision, but and I respect that. But nobody's talking about playing like nobody's talking about playing 3 of these in their deck at all. This is not even like a discussion unless you're playing just Evil Hero by itself. This is the discussion, But I'm pretty sure they want to save this to get reprinted as a QCR. So if I had a choice for what would be getting reprinted as a QCR, because I prefer ulti over everything. I think it would probably, like, I know it's too soon, but maybe Evil Assault. Actually, no. Mass Change. Mass Change, E-Call. I would love Mass Change, E-Call. And I think I would have to go the rest of the Vision line just to match with Ferris. So I think these would probably be my choice on it. Just so that way the line can match. This would match with the Malicious. And this, I don't know about you guys, but back in the day when this card first came out, a lot of people were doing artwork about making this prismatic and trying to make it prismatic before prismatic was a thing. And it looked very, very nice. So, oh, I got a little discussion on this card later. Definitely got to talk about this card later. Let's see. I only got like 10 more minutes, guys. I gotta go do daddy duties and husband duties. I think I might make my wife some honey teriyaki wings with some other stuff on the side. Strawberry lemonade, Okay, let's see. Blesser, I agree with you. Agreed. Wing Karibo level 6 feels uncuttable unless they create a literal replacement for a spot in the deck. Yes, 1000% agree with you right now. I feel like that's the first thing I always try to cut, but my logic and everything always goes against it. And when I'm playing, it always stands true. Like, just you always need the Wing Karibo level 6. It makes your one card or hero lives a lot better. And it makes it to where you could just pivot in so many directions. And when you have, like, say you are playing D-Force, you can, like, legit, if you open up, like if you open up Fusion Destiny, just like these little things matter. You have Fusion Destiny in your hand. Just the ability to send this to the graveyard, even if you can't use this right now, it's just so important because that means that you're playing through Disruption with all these Maliciouses. And then when this finally goes to the graveyard, this is going to put back the Malicious so you got an extra one. It makes it to where you bait out a lot more hand traps more efficiently before you drop the Fusion Destiny. And that's just the Karibo being there. It just makes such a huge difference. And that's why Vicious Claws is going to be really good. I know a lot of people didn't like it so much, when it was announced. It's not what we need. It's not what we needed. It's not a negate. It's not this or that. But it's a very good utility card that I plan on playing. I really like Vicious Claws a lot. Like, I get a free extender. Then I could break boards, popping their card and still use it. And also use it on the Fusion Destiny. It's just very, very good. And you're playing through Detonator with that. And you're popping Raizo Cross and stuff like that. It's very, very good. Okay, so let's see. Oh, man. Let's see. How many people we got? We got 16 left here. Swashbuckler. Okay, I'm gonna have to save the 3 mass change discussion. Shout out to my wife. You guys see it right here, Vanessa Talamantes. That's mine. That's my wife. She's keeping me accountable. Fully supportive as always. So love you, babe. She is working right now. As I said, I'm gonna be getting off in a few minutes, but going back to the 3 mass change. I'm gonna have to talk about this later, but I will definitely be discussing this because this is definitely a strong possibility. I just want to say, you talked about going to 3 mass change in 60. I'm about to be on that same track as well. I think it's just might be just too important. How I'm gonna fit it in, I don't know, but I might be going back to 3 mass change. There are so many hand traps to ensure you at least set in the dark law. Bro, you're absolutely right. Sheesh, you cooking with all that good stuff. Sauce, I hope you're enjoying it, man. I theory so much, about Hero, just because it's a deck I played since it came out. I've ventured off into other decks throughout the years, but this is what I know that I know in and out. Plus, I love the uphill challenge. I love being able to prove people wrong. And I'm an ultra competitive person. Like, I don't trip off of other people. I just compete with myself and challenge myself, over and over again. And I just love it. And this is what I enjoy. So I find ways to make it work. Swashbuckler Buckler is this D-Force in 60? I really like D-Force. It was just a replacement for Frulos, but I almost played it for this last San Jose regional. Los Angeles regional, and I wish I would have. I wish I would have. I was playing it all like for a few formats straight before the Evil Hero support came out, and I regret every day taking it out because it's that good right now. I just don't know how I'm gonna fit it in. I think Ian Shuffle ensures that you get the polys, so no matter what, what I theorize all the time too. Ian Shuffle's a very interesting card. It's something that I played in my past lists as well. How do I say it? So it's definitely something, for me, I would have to retest and just kind of go over again. But I think that deserves its own conversation as well, actually. I think, okay, here, let me give you a little hint at what the discussion will be. Ian Shuffle is very good with the Primite engine, and I'll explain that later. Just giving you a little taste is just because you can, one example, and I'll explain the rest later. You could do your plays, shuffle, put back, draw one, Lordy Load, special summon your Neos out, still use Drill Beam, still use Favorite Contact after Drill Beam. And you got to draw out of it and, play through hand traps. So just depends on sequencing. But I'll explain the rest later. I just didn't want to leave you with nothing. If Hero, I'm gonna answer one more question after this, guys, because I gotta get back to making sure that I get back to my duties. If Hero gets Destiny Hero support that lets you add a D Hero that mentions a D Hero, that mentions a D Hero. Wait, sorry. If a hero gets a Destiny Hero support that lets you add a D Hero card that mentions a D Hero, our deck will be cut with the balance. Yeah, I like this format right now. Minus Dweller and Shifter and stuff like that, and D Barrier and Lancia, because Lancia really hurts our deck too. I really, really like it. Okay. Yeah. See, we just need more universal cards. I've just been messing with Primary Hero without using the extra heroes lock guys. So I'm going to be explaining more Primary stuff next time I go live. But yeah. All right, guys. So I'm gonna be wrapping this up. Yeah, I appreciate everybody. Uh, I appreciate everybody tuning in. I'm gonna be doing a lot more. Well, I'm gonna be doing some lives here and there. I just, I've been taking a little bit of break since the last regional, just so that way I can make sure I, lock in at work. I work like tomorrow will be my 9th day straight working, and I got about 20 something more days left working straight. So just trying to pile on the overtime, and then whatever time that I've have left over, I want to make sure I spend with my family. So if something opens up, I'll make sure I get some dual videos for you guys. I'm gonna be starting a series. Where I compete at different tournaments, record all my matches, obviously. But all winnings, all things that I open up for my packs are going to be contributing to my family, to allowing my winnings to pay for a trip for Disneyland for my family. So it's going to be fun. I'm excited. Hopefully my wife's still not watching, so she doesn't know. But I'm about I just started, so I'm about $40 in right now. I have a goal of I think about 850 or something like that. And so that's gonna be a fun thing. Just it'll be like a it'll be like Yu-Gi-Oh! Pay for my Disneyland trip type of thing for my family. And so got 3 kids, so they're gonna love it. But all right, guys, I really appreciate you guys. Thank you for hopping on. I hope you guys are doing well, and feel free to drop more comments if this thing allows you to. I don't know how live works, and I'll try to get to it later on. All right, guys, have a good night, and remember, sometimes you might be the only hero that somebody will ever see. So be kind to one another and be a light in somebody's life. Appreciate you guys. Let's see. Not gonna lie, guys, I don't know how to stop this. Appreciate you guys.